where they sit in their computers every night if they're like me, and they read all the bills that have dropped that day, and then can sign on as a co-sponsor. And a co-sponsor would be anybody whose name is after the first person on the bill. So the first name on the bill will be the prime sponsor, but anybody else that signs on is showing that they're in support and that they too agree with the content of the bill.
There's two distinct caucuses, Republicans and Democrats. And different caucuses have different thoughts, ideologies, perspectives, approaches to various issues. So I say this to mean if you get a bill with only Democrat support or you get a bill with only Republican support, that's a signal to the various caucuses, right? This is why they like bipartisan bills, because it sort of helps alleviate the sort of, oh, you're only getting one side or the other. It sort of broadens the amount of votes that you could potentially perceive, just inherently, right?
As a bill sponsor, if I'm on the committee that I'm presenting on, then I can see that bill all the way through because I'm in the executive meeting, as well as being able to speak to any questions members might have. If a bill is being heard in a committee where I don't sit, then I have to trust the members on that committee and work with them to make sure that as people maybe want to change or amend the bill, that I'm still feeling like the intent of the bill is that which I set it out to be.
There are plenty of instances where bills die because the original proponents of the bill say, well, this got changed so much, I don't even care about it anymore. This isn't even what I want. This isn't what I was trying to achieve.
And oftentimes, again, our goal is to find a balance and to get all sides to sign on a bill. But there are times when I say you go big or go home, and that a bill is so important and that it may have such an impact on individuals or on a population that regardless of whether someone signs on that believes differently than you or not, the bill is so important, and then it becomes a debate and it becomes a conversation in caucus for us to understand kind of where people are at and then whether the bill will be able to move forward or not.
This beautiful little bay on Bainbridge Island is called Fort Blakely Harbor. It was once the site of the biggest sawmill in the world. It's a deep-water harbor and had as many as 14 sailing ships in here to load lumber that went to every possible location around our globe. There was huge timber around Puget Sound, and they brought it into this harbor in log booms and then ran the logs through the mill. They were massive. My dad told me that he could hear the logs going through the mill 4 miles away. The whine of the saws was that loud. This produced a product that the locals used to call Fort Blakely toothpicks. They were beams as big as 24 inches by 24 inches, some of them 90 or 100 feet long. That's a different world than we live in. The timber was huge. They went into the mines in Montana and Idaho. There's one that's been brought back and is used here in Bainbridge Island. As the years went by, the mill deteriorated, eventually burned and was closed down. Today it's just a beautiful spot, and it's truly one of my favorite places.
Hi, my name is Cora Telsrow from Seattle, Washington. Bills such as the Green Streets Act have been proposed in an effort to combat greenhouse gas emissions from public transit systems. Does the legislature have any plans to adjust our current transportation infrastructure in order to cater towards a more sustainable future?
Well, it's a great question. I would say we've looked at a variety of things that we possibly could do in regards to your question. A lot of the answers have to come back with cost and availability, and how do we accomplish this? We have many grants that are available to transit agencies, both federally and statewide, where they can convert from the diesel engines that you normally see on buses to electric buses. But one, you got to make sure that that bus can handle the routes and the weather and all of those things before you make that conversion. I would like to see more emphasis put on looking at hydrogen as an alternate fuel. I think it has a great promise.
All right, I think we got everybody here. Okay. Good morning, everybody.
I got your side.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks so much, everybody, for being here today. We appreciate everybody's time. Just a few words I like to always start to the TVW audience. We're in Olympia, and we're going to be signing some bills today, the final bills from the session that we're getting to, and we'll also be signing our capital budgets and our operating budgets. So before I do that, I just want to start by thanking my team. You know, the legislature works extremely hard year-round. When the legislature wraps up their legislative session and they leave, the work for my team is kind of just getting started, right? That they've sent us a lot of bills, which is great. We go through those bills, the budget. It's a lot of work, and this is the end of that lengthy process. So we really appreciate the collaboration with all the legislators, the stakeholders, everybody's here for this bill, but all the other work that's been done as well. But today's our final day, which we're excited about. So the first bill we have today is Senate Bill 5974. Sheriffs and police chiefs should be held to the same standards as their own officers and deputies. They should be certified and have law enforcement experience, pass a background check, and have a clean criminal history. Senate Bill 5974 modernizes Washington law governing sheriffs, police chiefs, and town marshals by setting these minimum qualifications. The Tri-City Herald editorial board said, law enforcement officers up and down the ranks must have the public's trust to do their jobs. Senate Bill 5974 will bolster that trust, and I agree with that. Under this bill, sheriffs and police chiefs who are decertified are removed from office. I do have some reservations about the process for creating a vacancy. I've had good conversations with the sponsor and other legislators as well about that, and we'll probably be doing a little work on the interim. But the main message today is this is a great bill, and it's been a lot of hard work from a lot of stakeholders over a long period of time, which we certainly recognize, and on an important issue for us as well. A special thank you, of course, to all the folks who wrote the emails, who made the phone calls, who had the meetings over a very long period of time to get to this point. Every legislator who's here will acknowledge it takes a village of people working really hard and doing that really, really important work. It doesn't happen on their own, no matter how wonderful your sponsors are. And so there's many folks here, and we know there's many others who on short notice couldn't make it here. And so on behalf of all those folks, we have a deep appreciation. But we also, of course, deeply appreciate the prime sponsor of this legislation, that is State Senator Lovick, who I have deep respect for, former sheriff, someone I think we all have a great deal of respect for in his leadership, and he was really the right guy to lead this. Senator Lovick has also emphasized that there are a number of legislators were involved, but especially Representative Roger Goodman was especially involved in this legislation. And Senator Lovick asked if I would sign with 2 pens, one, of course, from him as a prime sponsor, but one for Representative Goodman. So I'll be using 2 pens for this, and please give each of them a big round of applause as we sign the bill. Congratulations, absolutely. Excellent. All right, everyone, we're going to take a photo, okay?
Okay, folks, right here. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do one more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Wonderful. Hey, congratulations, everybody. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Great job. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, congratulations. Yeah. Congrats. Yeah. Yeah, you bet. Yeah, no, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, of course. No, thanks so much. Absolutely. Give me 1 second here. I just got to make sure I keep things in order here. If I get my paper messed up, I'm in trouble. I can come out over this.
Okay.
Taking a picture? Yeah. Yeah, all right. How's our lighting? Okay.
You want me to take it or you got it?
My foster son is Justice Ray.
No, thank you. Yes. That's right. That's right. It's true. It's true. It's true. you. And thanks for being here. Absolutely. In fact, they have them there, but you take one of these. How's that? What? You take one of those right there. That's for you. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Awesome.
Do you mind?
No, not at all. Yeah, good seeing you. Hey, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Perfect. That works. Okay, cool. We'll give it a minute for everybody to kind of clear out. Yeah. Hey, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We'll keep it up. Yeah.
Good luck with the rest of the year.
It's this is a big, getting through today is a big deal, you know. So it's it's a big deal getting through here. So yeah, I got to get a little vacation starting tomorrow. So I'm excited. I'm excited. Spring break for the kids, so I get a little break. Yeah. East Coast. So Boston, New York, and then Minnesota. They're seniors in high school, so visiting some schools while we're at it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That'll be good. Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate it. Yeah. All right.
Do you mind if I get a picture just right next to you? Just like
No, let's do it. Yeah. Yep. Awesome.
That's so cool.
Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Have a great day, you guys. Yeah.
We'll try to file out.
You're good. Yeah.
Senator Trudeau will stay because
That's right.
it might just take a minute. These are kind of
Let's go ahead. Yeah. Let's go ahead and bring in. I think that'll help. Just bring in the next group. Yep. Yeah. I'll literally do a handoff because that's a big enough thing. Yep. That'll be great. Okay, everybody, we got to clear out this room for the next one. Thanks, everybody. Come on in. Yeah. No, it's perfect. And you can leave Jack. Hey, I know you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. Yeah, really appreciate the work. And I think Senator Trudeau is here.
I believe so. I think she's in the math.
And I'm vice chair. It's the Lisa caucus.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So I'll stand behind because
That'll be perfect.
right here.
Okay.
What I saw.
Yeah, she's here. She was here for the
Perfect.
show.
That's so good. I don't know about your show, but ours needs. Senator Cover.
Hey, Brianna. We got to. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Come on up, Senator. All right, everybody, we're moving on to our next bill, everybody.
Is that your next vice?
We're moving on to our next bill.
This is my senator.
How's it going?
It's going good. Here, say hi to the governor.
Oh, man.
Say hi, Mr. Governor. Oh.
Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Thanks, you guys. Let's give it 1 second. Just make sure we get the doors cleared out. I think we're just about there. Excellent. Next up is our capital budget. So this is a big occasion. So it's good to have future generations here for this as well. For the TVW audience, I'll just give a little background. So as folks in this room know, but folks watching may not, we have 3 different budgets that we adopt as a legislature and working with the governor's office: capital, transportation, and operating. Yesterday we signed the transportation budget. What's up right now is the capital budget. These 3 budgets are distinct. We can't move money between them. So in some budgets, we can make more investments in our future of our state than in, for example, our operating budget, which has a budget challenge. So people often ask me, how can you make all these investments in roads and infrastructure if you got a shortfall? Shortfalls in the operating side, capital and transportation are healthier budgets. So what we're focused on today is our capital budget. And one thing I want to emphasize and focus on in these comments of what I think is a really strong budget is the housing crisis that we face as a state, and the legislators who are with me here are all in on addressing this. Our population growth continues to outpace our housing supply. We literally need 1 million new homes by 2044, and half of those need to be affordable housing. Nearly half of renters in Washington spend more than 1/3 of their income on rent. We need more housing of all kinds, and we did, working with the legislature, just did fantastic work on this last session. On the policy side, I think I signed about 20 bills, and on the investment side. And in my the state address a few months ago, I referred to that and said we need to, quote, build on that momentum, literally. And I went on to say we must continue to be bold and make historic investments in housing, both in policy and in dollars. And the legislature really delivered, I think, on both of those counts. Especially in a challenging short session to get all this done, I think is especially impressive. On the policy side, we certainly built on that momentum. Thanks to the great work of the legislature, we've signed multiple bills into law. Had the pleasure of working with Senator Alvarado on a governor request bill that I was especially proud of related to housing, but just really appreciate the hard work on the policy side to really advance policies, make it easier to build more housing for people in our state. And on the investment side, which we're focused on right now, I called for historic investment in housing in my State of the State address. And again, the legislature delivered. The result is the largest state-funded housing investment in any supplemental budget in Washington State history. That was a tall order in a short legislative session. Yes, right? Yeah, right? Yeah. And through the work of many partners, we got there. This bipartisan budget bill, Senate Bill 6003, invests more than $200 million in affordable housing across our state. That brings Washington's total affordable housing investment for this biennium to $960 million, easily the largest ever in a single biennium. This includes, I'll give a few examples of where these dollars go. It includes $123 million in additional funding to the Housing Trust Fund, which helps build or preserve approximately 3,000 units of housing. The increase to the Housing Trust Fund includes $45 million to preserve and repair affordable housing. That's an increase of 82% over the current biennial budget. This funding can be used as well for flood-damaged homes. Over $9 million for farm worker housing. This includes $1 million to replace or preserve 25 trailers in Monitor Park in Chelan County that were damaged during the recent extreme weather and historic flooding. $63 million to develop approximately 1,600 new affordable rental units. That's an increase of 29% over the current biennial budget. $63 million to build approximately 600 units for first-time home buyers, an increase of 84% over the current biennial budget. This investment into the homeownership program plays a critical role in promoting homeownership, helping Washingtonians build long-term equity and economic stability. These historic investments in affordable housing will benefit Washingtonians for generations. The capital budget makes other investments across Washington. I won't go through them all, but to name a few, significant investments in school construction, including $71 million to modernize buildings for small school districts and tribal compact schools. We're also investing $30 million for tribal clean energy and climate resilience projects using climate commitment funding. And importantly, this budget provides $46 million in flood response and prevention, including assistance for victims of the historic flooding we experienced in December of 2025. We are doing what we can as a state to support the people still recovering from that historic flooding. I want to emphasize no state can handle a disaster on this scale. Washington certainly cannot. We need federal dollars, and we've submitted our application to FEMA. We've worked hard with our partners, including congressional delegation and leadership from all 4 legislative caucuses and letters of support to FEMA, making it clear how critical that support is for our communities, and we're hopeful those applications will be approved. Getting a budget like this passed takes significant effort by many people, including folks standing up here with me today. I want to thank members of the public and advocates for engaging in the process and sharing testimony about how these funds would benefit their communities. A special thank you to my budget team, who works extraordinarily hard, working with these legislators and many others as well. A special thank you, of course, to the sponsors of this bill, State Senator Yasmin Trudeau and Representative Steve Theringer, and a very special thank you to Representative Lisa Callan in particular for her going above and beyond, I think, in this session, which we all deeply appreciate. I had the chance on Saturday to visit with Representative Theringer. We had a really wonderful visit. Had a chance to sign one of his bills into law with him, and so we're obviously thinking about Steve as we sign this capital budget into law. I will be using 3 pens for signing this budget. We, of course, have one for Senator Trudeau, one for Representative Callan, really appreciating her hard work, and one, of course, for Representative Theringer. So with that, let's sign this into law. Thanks. And please give all these hardworking folks a huge round of applause. Lisa, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll hold this one for Representative Theringer. Hey, thanks so much, everybody, and let's go ahead and take a photo.
There we go.
Right here. 1, 2.
Not going to join us over there? Now we're talking.
There we
All
go.
right.
There we go.
Here we go. Look right here at me. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
How did we do? Pretty good.
Nice.
On cue. On cue. That's good, right? Yeah.
Great.
Awesome. Hey, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Yasmin, you want a picture with this and? Okay, let's do it.
Ready?
You ready? All right, let's do it.
Take a picture. Smile, cheers.
Possibly the cutest candle. Yeah. How old now?
3.
3 years old. Yeah. Awesome.
She's pretty cute.
He's pretty cute. Let's see. Steve. budget.
There you go.
Okay.
We're back.
And now we're on to, is Rommel here? Rommel here, okay. I'm ready, yeah. Hey, we're clearing out the budget, folks. Yeah, come on in, you guys. Yeah. Oh, great to see you. Yeah. Thanks for being here. Yeah, why don't you take one on each side? Does that work for you guys? Awesome. Thanks for being here. I know Representative Rammel couldn't make it, but appreciate you being here.
We're glad we're representing.
Awesome. We'll give it 1 second for folks to clear out here, and then we'll be ready to go. Our next bill is House Bill 1960. We must find ways to encourage clean energy development in Washington State. As we do, we must also ensure that the benefits of these projects are seen, felt, and distributed in the local communities where they are developed. Right now, renewable energy projects are taxed as personal property, meaning counties experience a huge boom in property tax payments, followed by a rapid decline over time. House Bill 1960 addresses this problem by leveling clean energy tax payments over time, benefiting counties and developers alike. It also redistributes clean energy project tax payments to flow directly back to local governments, communities, and tribal nations. We appreciate the hard work of everybody who worked on this legislation. This bill earned strong bipartisan support. A special thank you to the prime sponsor of this legislation, State Representative Alex Rammel, for his leadership, which I'm now signing this legislation into law. Thanks, everybody, and let's take a photo.
Right here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Great. Thank
Awesome. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, you guys. Thanks so
you
much.
so
Really
much.
appreciate it. Yeah, you bet. Thank you. Rammel. Thanks.
Great.
Okay, that's a big one. Okay. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you again. Yes. So glad you could make it. We were just talking about Steve actually a moment ago. So yeah. Who we got here?
This is my granddaughter, Catherine. This is Governor Ferguson.
Come up. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming over. Yes. Is that right? Is that right? Yes. What grade are you? Fifth grade. Aren't you supposed to be in school right now? Okay, spring break. All right.
I knew that was coming.
All right.
Because he's kind of a stickler
That's
for
right.
the rules.
That's right. What school do you go to? Which one? Ferguson. Yeah. You like it? Yeah. Awesome. Okay, well, thanks for being here. We've been doing bill signing before, maybe? Oh, first one. Okay, then you guys come over here. Okay, here's how it works. You stand right over here. So here's the deal. Granddaughter, is that right? I got that right? Okay, so your grandfather worked on this thing a little bit, and so I've got to sign my name on this to make it a law. Got any ideas where I'm going to sign that thing? Where should I put my signature on that thing? You got it. All right, keep an eye on that. All right. Okay, our next bill is House Bill 2034. LEF 1 is a retirement plan for law enforcement officers and firefighters across Washington State, and we deeply appreciate their service to our state. It has been closed to new members since 1977, and over the decades, it has become one of the most well-funded public pension systems in the entire country. House Bill 2034 terminates LEF 1, creates a new plan for members, and transfers excess funds into account that a future legislature, working very closely with my office, of course, will determine the best use of. This bill includes protections to ensure every nickel of benefits will be paid to LEF 1 vested members and future retirees. The new plan will not open until June 2029 to provide sufficient time for the Department of Retirement Systems and future legislatures to iron out any wrinkles in this process. We so appreciate everybody who's worked so hard on this bill. A special thank you, of course, to our prime sponsor, that is Catherine, is that right? Catherine's grandfather, Representative Tim Ormsby. So I'm going to, if it's okay with the representative, use 2 pens, one for you. Awesome.
Historic.
And with Senator Robinson and Representative Ormsby, many others made this happen. Give them all a round of applause as we sign this into law.
There's a bill that just became a law.
Right. That's how it works. That's how it works. Now we're going to take a picture, all right? Okay.
Right here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Great, thank you.
Awesome.
All right, great.
Really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Hal. You sticking around? I think we have some other work from your grandfather that we're going to talk about. Okay. So I'm giving this back to you. taking this one. Great.
Did great. You can put that through together, so then you might get one.
Yeah, I'm sticking around.
You're sticking around, yes.
I think you're the group for 2681.
Awesome. Okay. Is that right? Same group?
Yeah.
Okay, you're staying right here. We're doing the same thing, Catherine.
Catherine.
So here's how it works. Same spot, right? So all these other people have to sign it, and this is the last step. And once it's signed, then it's a law. This is the last piece. Okay. Our next bill is House Bill 2681. This bill was requested by the Office of Financial Management. Adjusting fees for inflation is a necessary step to ensure our state agencies can keep up with rising costs. To ensure our state agencies can keep up with rising costs so they can continue to provide a high level of service to Washingtonians. House Bill 2681 raises cannabis license fees to account for inflation. This ensures adequate funding for the Liquor and Cannabis Board licensing program and other operations. We appreciate the hard work on this legislation, especially the prime sponsor, State Representative Tim Ormsby, for his leadership, and I'm now signing this into law.
Thank you,
Congratulations, sir.
Governor.
You bet.
Thank
Yes.
you very much.
All right, we're going to take another picture. You ready? Okay.
Okay, same thing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Great, thank you.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you. And you're hanging around a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Awesome, good. We handled that, exactly, yep. Thank you. Okay. 2487. June was the companion. Did we lose June? Oh, she's the companion. Okay, fair enough. Hey, everybody, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks. Come on in. Yeah. Great to see you. Yeah. Hey, thanks for being here. And why don't we just balance each other out over here? Wonderful. Our next bill is House Bill 2487. This bill was requested by the Department of Revenue. Washington businesses deserve clarity and a level playing field when it comes to B&O taxes. House Bill 2487 closes a B&O tax loophole stemming from a Washington Supreme Court case several years ago. Some businesses use this loophole to take advantage of a law intended to make it so insurance companies did not get overtaxed for insurance premiums. This bill clarifies that only the businesses that paid the insurance premium tax may claim the B&O tax exemption. It cannot be claimed by third-party downstream businesses. We appreciate everybody who worked hard on this legislation. We appreciate the hard work of folks in the Department of Revenue. And the prime sponsor in particular is State Representative Nicole Macri, and the companion sponsor is State Senator June Robinson. We appreciate everybody's hard work as we sign this legislation into law. Thanks, everybody, and let's take a photo.
Okay, so right here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it, and have a great day. Thanks again. Yeah, great to see you. Appreciate it. And the pen, thank you. Awesome. Great. Our next bill is House Bill 2689. This legislation was requested by the Office of Financial Management. House Bill 2689 makes updates to the Working Connections Child Care Program that balance cost savings with continuing to care for kids. It modifies the program's attendance policy to more closely align provider payments to a child's attendance. Among other changes, it also eliminates plans to transition to provider payment practices no longer required by the federal government. We appreciate everybody's work on this, including the prime sponsor, State Representative Mia Ferguson. And that is now signed into law. Thank you. That's for Mia.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks. This is Senator, just me, okay, thanks. Our next bill is Senate Bill 6228. This bill was requested by the Office of Financial Management. Washington State currently offers a lower B&O tax rate to businesses that warehouse or resell prescription drugs. The preferential tax rate was originally meant to level the playing field for prescription drug distributors that had a physical presence in our state. However, now it mostly benefits a group of large national drug distributors and wholesalers. Senate Bill 6228 raises the B&O tax rate for these drug companies closer to the standard rate for wholesalers in Washington, while ensuring that the state's critical access pharmacies continue to pay the lower B&O tax rate. We appreciate the work of the prime sponsor, Senator Frame, and the companion sponsor, Representative April Berg. I'm now signing Senate Bill 6228 into law. Okay, that is Senator Frame. Great, thank you. Yep. Next is Senate Bill 6231. Given the challenging budget environment, we had to make some difficult choices this year, and one of those was narrowing tax exemptions for data centers. Specifically, this bill eliminates the exemption for replacing server equipment in an existing data center. This bill does not change existing exemptions when a data center is constructed. This will raise revenue by more than $350 million through 2031 and help us avoid further and deeper budget cuts. We appreciate the work of the prime sponsor, State Senator Frame, and the companion sponsor, once again, Representative Berg, for their work on this bill, which I'm now signing into law. Okay, we're almost there. That is for Senator Frame. Great. Okay, but I think this is the last one before the budget, everybody. Great. Okay, Senate Bill 6260. This bill was requested by the Office of Financial Management. In these challenging budget environments, difficult choices must be made to protect basic education services. Senate Bill 6260 helps balance the budget by scaling back on recent investments that the state is struggling to afford. The bill also changes the administration of programs to help stretch state dollars without causing significant harm. I just want to say I appreciate the hard work of all legislators during a challenging budget. It's a lot more difficult to make those choices when you've got shortfalls and is when you've got a lot of excess revenue. So not just on this, but on all things through the process, I think it was a team effort to really, in our operating budget, grapple with some challenges. And I just know those are not easy decisions by any stretch of the imagination, and appreciate everybody's hard work on this and all the other work we did on this session. A special thank you, of course, to the prime sponsor of this legislation, Senator Lisa Wellman, and companion sponsor, Representative Mia Gregerson. And that is now signed into law. Okay, everybody, I think we're down to it. That is Wellman. Yeah, thanks. Thanks. And I'm just going to take the binder. Okay.
Maybe we should switch up.
This is it, right? Yeah, maybe we should, so they know it's a different, yeah. You come on this side, yeah. Catherine, come on this side. Thanks again.
Well, we can't leave Catherine over there by herself.
I'm going to come stand next to Catherine.
All right, it's a deal. All right.
On this side.
All right. Do you know Katie, Catherine?
We've met.
You've met. Katie does a lot of work. Does a lot of work on this stuff. Yeah, she does a lot of work.
She does a lot of work.
That's a short summary. Okay, and this is our last one. Great. Okay, so the end of a lengthy process, everybody, but we're finishing, I think, on a great note. Next up is Senate Bill 5998. So once again, I'll just repeat this for those watching. We have three different budgets: capital, which you signed into law; transportation, we did yesterday; and now our operating budget. So when you read about or hear about a budget crisis in Washington State, what they're talking about is the operating budget, the one we're adopting right now. And so it's been a challenging budget when you have a shortfall. And that's why I just want to reemphasize how much I appreciate legislators and the team and the staff and everybody who's worked so hard after a $16 billion shortfall last year to come back facing another shortfall is not easy. Yesterday, I signed a millionaire's tax. That represents historic progress in rebalancing our upside-down tax code and making our state more affordable. However, and importantly, no revenue from that millionaire's tax will be realized by the state until 2029. So in other words, that does not help us for what we have to do right here. We still have to deal with the budget challenge that's right in front of us. In my State of the State address, I said, to keep our growth going, let's get back to basics. My team and I worked in close partnership with legislators, and in the end, they crafted an operating budget that allows us to continue meeting Washingtonians' core needs while also living within the state's means. Washingtonians expect us to budget the same way they do when they're sitting down at their kitchen tables, balancing the family budget. I approach our budget, and legislators approach our budget in that same spirit. Our budget must maintain core services like K-12 education without raising taxes on hardworking Washingtonians, and this budget delivers on those commitments. We maintain funding for K-12 education and expanded access to early childhood education. We invested $55 million in the Cascade Care program to provide assistance on health care premiums to low-income individuals. And we increased the state home energy assistance program by $30 million. That program helps low-income residents pay utility bills and upgrade to energy-efficient heating and cooling systems. These are just a few of the many examples throughout this operating budget that center working families. The operating budget is also where we confronted some of the harm done by the Trump administration and the Republican Congress. We cannot talk about this budget without talking about that, because when they passed H.R. 1, the big bad betrayal bill, earlier this year, Republicans in Congress made cuts to essential services like Medicaid in order to fund tax cuts for billionaires. That also imposed significant costs on Washington State. In this biennium alone, that big bad betrayal bill will cost our state at least $165 million directly in this budget. The operating budget includes over $9 million to implement new work requirements for SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program recipients, and $16 million in IT costs related to H.R. 1. In other words, that federal bill required us to do these things that normally we would not have had to do. The budget also includes $45 million in increased administrative costs for SNAP, again, also imposed by H.R. 1 starting in October. We've also worked hard to mitigate some of the harms caused by the Trump administration. The budget includes $44 million to provide state food benefits for the approximately 30,000 refugees, asylees, and other immigrants with lawful status who were literally kicked off SNAP by the Trump administration. It includes $15 million to backfill Medicaid funding to Planned Parenthood so Washingtonians can continue to see their provider. Medicaid is one of the primary payers for Planned Parenthood, covering services including preventive care and cancer screenings. H.R. 1 blocks Medicaid funding to Planned Parenthood, and that is a problem, which is why we're making these investments. The budget also includes nearly $20 million to fund health care for approximately 1,200 Washingtonians who became ineligible for Medicaid overnight when Donald Trump signed H.R. 1. To be very clear, these are individuals who are extremely ill or disabled, many of whom are at risk of losing their housing if they do not have enough health care coverage. I want to be clear, while we're making investments and covering costs imposed by the federal government, we're also having to make reductions in other areas. Our state agencies are taking another $1 billion in reductions after already taking significant cuts last session. Our state employees, once again, are being asked to do more with less, and we deeply appreciate all of their service in so many parts of state government while we face this challenging situation. Consequently, we have limited ability to absorb additional work or expenses that are not funded in the budget. That is why I vetoed a few programs. It's also consistent with how I approach budgeting. If we have a proposal to do something in our budget, we've got to have the funding to do it. When there was not funding provided and agencies could not absorb the costs, I had to veto those programs. I want to really thank all members of the public who engaged in this extensive process and sharing testimony that helped inform the final budget. Again, a huge thanks to my budget team who works extremely hard. Catherine, that's KD, who you're looking at her next to you, and a whole team of folks in this room and other rooms as well who do a lot of the work. And of course, a very special thank you to the sponsors of this bill who do extraordinary work, State Senator June Robinson and Representative Tim Ormsby for their leadership. Let's just pause right now and give them a big round of applause. I also want to thank the vice chairs in both the House and the Senate, State Senator Derek Stanford, Senator Noel Frame, Representative Mia Gregerson, and Representative Nicole Macri. Please give them a big round of applause for their hard work. And I'll be signing with 2 pens today, one for Senator Robinson, of course, and one for Representative Ormsby. So I think we are ready for that. I got to find that huge thing. Ooh. You ready? Let's trade. Exactly. Crazy, isn't it?
It's one law.
June, thank you. Congratulations. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. And for the final act of this session, I think, I think it's appropriate that we're recognizing Representative Ormsby for his leadership on this. And his leadership in many areas for the people of the state of Washington. We just really deeply appreciate your service for a long time. He's been he just continues to be a really wonderful legislator, serves the people of his district extremely well. Had the pleasure of working with you over a number of years. And let's give Reverend Ormsby a special big round of applause for his service. Okay, and Representative Ormsby's granddaughter is going to help me hold this thing up. It's too much for me. Can you help me? It's pretty heavy. You ready? All right, let's hold it up there.
Folks, look right here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
Thanks, Catherine. Hey.
Way to be the line, I think.
Let's take a picture of you and your granddaughter and the budget.
Sure.
Let's do it. Yep, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's take a picture with Catherine and Tim. Yeah, all right. Let's step right over here.
Okay.
Catherine, come right over here. We're going to take a picture. Okay, we're going to have one more. We're holding this, okay? You're in the middle.